I went to the gym and I kind of overdid it, or I don't know, like I came home and I was so tired, so tired. I mean, I don't usually train in the evening, and now I slept for like 9 or 10 hours, but I could just go back to sleep. Right now, I have to be super, 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 super careful with this mic because I don't film with this mic very often, and I can't hear myself, so I have to be very soft and like make sure that the sound is good. But yeah, in today's video, I originally just wanted to film a ramble where I tell you everything about my New Year's, Christmas, and we can still do that maybe in another video. I can give you a little rundown. Christmas was good. I already said in my what I got for Christmas video, all the stuff that I got. So it was really nice. It was actually way nicer than I expected it. New Year's was chill as well. And yeah, then the first week of January was really good. I was very confident. I felt like a model. I was putting out content. And then the second week of January hit me with a slap in the face. So where do I even begin? I feel like this is going to be a long ramble, but I just want you to know that if you are also struggling, you're not alone. And I'm someone that doesn't really like to open up, especially on the internet, about my personal struggles, because I want to spread positivity and because I think positive thinking is the way to go. But I'm also not for toxic positivity, and I feel like we learn and grow the most through the negative. And for some reason, I just feel like I should talk to you guys about this. Yeah, maybe some of you guys have similar experiences. I apologize for any background noise because I'm not alone in the house right now. So basically, I don't even know where to start. It's like, it's so much to catch up with you guys that I haven't publicly, like on this channel, talked about it, but I just feel like talking about it now, because I don't want you to think that you're alone. Basically, okay, I'm like, ever since I was a little kid, I was very anxious. I would run away from flies. That's how anxious I was. Like, it's adjusted the ring light a little bit. I really hope that this is like the right distance that I'm holding the mic. You're probably like, Michelle, get to the point. We want to know what this is about. Basically, ever since I was a little girl, I was already like very, very anxious. I would run away from a fly, and whenever I would see a slug on the ground, I would scream. And my dad always had to, like, slugs were my biggest fear back then. Obviously, I'm not scared of them anymore, but I still find them kind of like, ugh. Like, if I see a slug, I'm more like, ugh. Like, a snail is okay, like the ones with the little, like, shell, but a slug is just like, no sir. And my dad had to, like, carry me over the slugs. And I also, like, I guess I had a little bit of anxiety when it came to strangers, because whenever my parents' friends would visit, I would hide like under a table. And I was always very like loud and extroverted at home, but when it came to like school, I was more quiet. I was very shy. And eventually, when I got into 10th grade, I started to change my narrative. I started to get rid of a lot of fears. I started to overcome a lot of fears, and by the imagine my time in the US to be like that. Like, I'm not talking to my host family anymore. I'm not in touch with them, even though I had a really, really good relationship with the kids. And that definitely, like, scarred me. That definitely, like, did something to me. And then being alone in the US, I had no health insurance, I had no money. On one hand, it was an adventure, but on the other hand, it was almost as if I was too far out of my comfort zone, because after that, I got into my comfort zone like crazy. Like, I remember my partner Shane and I, like, if you've been around my channel, you know Shane. He's my best friend, my partner. We went to his parents' place to California, and I was able to, like, be in my comfort zone again, and it felt so good, because sometimes you have to be in your comfort zone. Like, sometimes being in your comfort zone is good, and those few months were so chill, so good. And then I was ready to get out of my comfort zone. I went back to Germany, and I was ready to see all my friends and, like, do all these adventures and have all these adventures in Europe. And then no one wanted to hang out, obviously, because it was a pandemic and a lockdown. So I pulled myself away more and more. And basically, I'm not mad about that, because I got to know myself in a lot of ways that I would have never if my life, because, like, you have to understand, my life in high school and in university, there was always action. I was always out and about. I was always drinking. I was always partying. There was always some sort of, like, action. And yeah, I needed that time away from the action in order to get to know myself better and to be where I am right now, to having created this ASMR channel, having, like, I started to live healthier, look out for what I'm eating, working out, cooking, living mindfully, getting into all these, like, spiritual practices. Like, all of that I wouldn't have, like, gotten into had I not been in my comfort zone. So being in your comfort zone is not always a bad thing, but if you stay in it too long, then it can get challenging, because it's kind of like a muscle. You train it. If you don't work out for a week, fine. If you don't work out for 2 weeks, fine. But if you don't work out for 2 months, then your progress that you made, you're not gonna be able, like, you're gonna be able to get back into it easily, but your progress will have significantly dropped. And that's the same with the comfort zone. And then in March of 2021, I experienced a loss. And if you were subscribed to my Patreon, I had a Patreon last year. Still not sure what I'm gonna do about it, but that's another topic. If you are on my Patreon, you know that someone that we didn't date, but we were close for a couple of years. So we went to school together. We would see each other every day, and we reconnected in 2019, shortly before I left to the US, and he passed away very suddenly, very unexpectedly. And it completely traumatized me, and it's been almost 2 years now that happened, and I'm only now realizing and noticing in what ways it traumatized me. He had a brain aneurysm, and I don't want to, like, talk about it too much, because if you're like me and you're scared about your health all the time, which I'll get into that, then I don't want to trigger you, but it was very unexpected. And he wasn't friends. So basically, I had like sort of like a friends with benefits relationship with him, but I always wanted more and he didn't, and it was like back and forth, off and on, but it wasn't toxic or anything. It was just kind of like I was like in love and he like liked me but wasn't in love. And then in 2019 we cleared the air, and I'm so grateful that we did. We cleared the air. Like I asked him like what happened, like why did we never date, and he told me, and we like connected as friends, and I still have those WhatsApp chats with him where he was like in bed but he got to a bar to hang out with me. He would constantly reach out and like put in an effort, and I'm like so stupid because we lost touch like shortly before I went to the US, and I wish that we didn't, but I can't change it now. But anyway, because we were never official, and because we weren't like, we were friends but we weren't like hanging out every day, like in 2014, 15, 16 I did see him every day at school, and I did like, I was there like almost every week. Like we had those like few months breaks in between, but basically I was there like every week. But like I didn't very important years, and he was a big part of my life for 2 years. And I thought, because it was just a friends with benefits relationship, or just friends or whatever, because of that I thought that I don't have the right to grieve. I felt as though everybody expected me to move on. Everybody expected me to not talk about it. Everybody expected me to just live my life. And so that's what I did. By the way, I don't know what's going on down there. Like, I'm sorry for the background noises. Yeah, everybody just completely expected me to, like, that's how I felt. Like I said, I'm not mad at anyone, because I understand why you wouldn't ask me how I'm doing. I completely get that, because like, a lot of people didn't know about the connection that we had, and the fun that we had, and like the memories that we had. Like, not many people knew about it, and I feel like the people that did know about it still didn't really get it. So I didn't allow myself to be sad, and like, I would think about it here and then. So I just like moved on with my life. Me and Shane remodeled the van. We went on a road trip. I went out of my comfort zone. I got over my driving anxiety. So yeah, I'll get to the anxiety part, because I want to just talk about that and what the trauma kind of did to me, and how I'm just now realizing that. But yeah, no one really reached out or whatever, so I just moved on with my life, and I kept thinking about it. And then lately, I think in 2022, like in the summer, Shane started asking me more questions about him, and I started, every time I talked about it, I felt this like heaviness on my chest, but I never thought to like dive deeper and actually explore what that was. And Shane apologized to me. He was like, because like, he was there for me, but he like just didn't realize it at the time. He was like, I didn't know that he was such a big part of your life, like, I'm sorry. And that really did something to me, because I was like, wow, like, someone's actually like seeing it, you know. And Shane is my rock, and if something bad happens and he's not there, it's always a little bit worse than if he is there. Like, we're each other's rocks. But yeah, I'm really not trying to like blame anyone, because this is, I could have dealt with it. And then also the funeral, I would have liked to go to the funeral, but I didn't know when it was and where it was, because no one really informed me. And I also heard from a friend that it was supposed to be a small funeral with just like the close friends and family, and I didn't see myself there. So I didn't think I was worthy of going there. I didn't think I was worthy of grieving this loss, because I didn't think that it was my loss too. Just because his sister is grieving, just because his friends are grieving, they have a connection with him that might be different from the connection that I had with him. I still have the right to grieve. And I know this ramble is a little bit more heavy than my usual upbeat sort of rambles, but it's just, I just felt called to talk about this for my sake and for your sake if you're going through something. Because when it comes to loss, when it comes to losing someone, losing something, our society has a very, like, it had, like, even with a breakup, you know, you break up and you're allowed to be sad for like 1 or 2 weeks. But guys, that's not how it works, okay? Even if you're only together for a month, time doesn't matter. Time is relative. I had a relationship with one guy, and we were together for 1 year, and I got over it in like 4 weeks. And then I had a relationship with another guy, and I didn't get over also think taking care of our health is very, 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 very important. Like eating healthy, moving our body, but mental health is just as important. So I might be living a very healthy lifestyle, but my mental health has not been super duper good. It goes in phases. Like I have phases where I don't think about it. I'm just living my life. I'm positive, and whenever I do share something positive, it's genuine. I'm never lying about it. But obviously I don't show the negatives, because who does that? Who shows their negatives online? Because I also feel like in our society there's an imbalance of negativity. Like we think a lot of negative thoughts, we get fed a lot of negativity from the media, and even on Netflix, like all the shows are super violent. There's a lot of negativity. Someone always dies that doesn't need to die on Netflix, and we are desensitized for that. So I do believe that we get fed way too much negativity, and therefore I think social media is a great way to spread positivity. But I also think I need to be keeping it real with you guys and show you a little bit more of a vulnerable side of me, because I haven't done that, or like I did it a little bit on my Patreon, but not really here on YouTube. And I just feel like doing that because we're all human. Maybe some of you relate to me, maybe some of you don't, but it's just all about that connection. So health anxiety. I also have other anxieties, but this is I think the most prevalent one that is affecting my day-to-day life, because all the other anxieties, like for example I have a flight anxiety that developed, like that got pretty strong, and I'm also a little anxious on going on trains. But the reason for that is like with the trains, because I don't do it anymore. It's like I said with the muscle, because I haven't been on a train for like multiple longer periods of time, because I have my car for so long that I'm now scared of it. But driving, for example, is not a problem anymore because I do it often. So with my train anxiety, I just have to hop on the train more often and you confront it. But health anxiety is a little bit more tricky. Would constantly worry about my health. I did have some symptoms that I needed to get checked out, and I did get it checked out. I don't know how much you guys want to know, but I struggle with hemorrhoids. My mom does too, my dad does too, and I know this is super personal, but I'm just being real with you guys. And hemorrhoids can cause blood in your when you go to the bathroom, and I got it confirmed by a doctor that I indeed have hemorrhoids. I don't know when I got it confirmed. It was like in September, maybe. Yeah, it must have been September of 2022. But the hemorrhoids have been getting worse, and I constantly have the blood, and I'm so scared. And because my grandpa, he died of colon cancer, and it's in my family, so I freak myself out. And yes, I have legit symptoms, and I am actually gonna go to the doctor again next week because I want to 100% make sure that there's nothing more serious going on. But even when I have symptoms, like, okay, two things I've been doing. I've been Googling constantly, and I've been either going to the doctor all the time, but more so avoiding it. This appointment that I have next week, I already had it 2 times before next week, and I didn't go because when you have health anxiety, you either avoid the doctor completely or you go there all the time, and neither one is good. So I'm trying to confront the anxiety. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing to confront it. But the first step, if you have anxiety, to figure out where the anxiety comes from is to figure out where does it come from, because like I said, I've always been naturally very anxious, but I've never struggled this much to the point where it drives me nuts. Like almost didn't like record this video because of that this morning, and it's currently standing in the way of me fulfilling my goals, of me fulfilling my dreams, and I do no longer want to live like that. And so what happened was, I'm like going back and forth, I hope you can follow me, but Shane, my partner, we live together usually. He is not here this month in January, and so I'm here alone. I have my mom and my roommate, but in my room I'm alone, so I'm alone a lot more than I usually am. And like I still see friends and stuff, but like on a day-to-day basis. And so me and my mom were watching Gilmore Girls, and we have a fireplace, and smoke kept coming out of the fireplace. So the first week of January was perfect. I had such a good time, even though it was the week before my period. I was just like energized. I felt confident. It was perfect. It was the perfect start into the year. And then last Sunday, so you're gonna see this probably on Tuesday, so the Sunday before that, we were watching Gilmore Girls, and smoke kept coming out of the chimney, out of the fireplace. So I opened the door in order to close it properly, and I got smoke into my face like twice, and I breathed it in, and after a while, the whole living room was full of smoke, but it wasn't like visible smoke. It was like minor. It had happened before. It had happened to my mom before, but I started freaking the F out. I was so scared that I'm gonna have smoke inhalation poisoning. I was so scared, guys. I started crying. I started hyperventilating. This is honestly the most personal ramble that I've ever made on this channel. But yeah, I started crying. I started hyperventilating. And then I texted my friend, and I was like, I need to go to the hospital. Like, I need to get checked out. Like, but then I kind of grounded myself a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sleep over at my friend's place, and if anything happens, if I get any sort of symptoms that aren't like right, I'm gonna go to the hospital. So I did that, and I also I'm in this like group chat of girls where we talk about like fitness and health and like all this good stuff. And in the group chat there's a girl, and she's a nurse, and I texted in the group chat what happened, and the nurse was like, here's the thing, look out for these symptoms. If you don't have these symptoms, then you're okay. And even though, so I did have a little bit of an irritation in my lungs. I had a cough, and I felt something like here, but I still, like, guys, I'm not sure if that was actually from the smoke or if that was just anxiety, because anxiety can give you physical symptoms. Your mind and your body, they are connected. I'll get to that, but basically I didn't know what it was, and I was still scared. Like 2-3 days after, I couldn't sleep. I like still don't have a proper sleep schedule, and that's when when I had that breakdown after I inhaled the smoke, that's when I noticed why I'm anxious, because I kept thinking about my friend that died because he was alone in his apartment, and the thought of that happening to him traumatized the hell out of me. And I noticed that, and I just started crying so much. And ever since then, I believe I'm going through a healing process. So the reason why I believe that is, like, I still my anxiety immediately got better. And ever since then, I've just been giving myself the permission to grieve. It's been intense. Yesterday, for example, I woke up and I had a dream about him, and I woke up, I cried, and then I felt this like immense like beauty of life, and I laughed and danced, and then I cried again, and I just like, I know what it feels like to go through a breakup or have a bad day, and it didn't feel like that at all. It felt like healing. And before you guys say anything, like, I am considering going into therapy, but I have to sort some things with my health insurance first, and I might actually consider therapy. But here's what I did. I just acknowledged I'm traumatized. I have a problem. I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want to be this anxious all the time. Like, fear is not inherently bad. It helps us stay alive. I've heard in a podcast or something, our brain's first priority, because a lot goes back to the brain, okay? Our brain's first priority is not to be happy, but to be safe. And anxiety gives us this feeling of constantly feeling unsafe. So in a way, like, a lot of the problems that we face today is because when we were hunters and gatherers, we needed the fight or flight response. I don't know if you've heard of it. I'm sure you're familiar with the concept. But fight or flight, and a lot of us still have, like, all of us were biologically still the same. We have this fight or flight response, but oftentimes we don't need it. It's irrational, because when you're in front of a bear or in front of a lion, you need to be scared. You need to be scared in order to save yourself. In certain situations, fear is a good thing, but it's become too much. And so things that I find really help me, that I'm gonna give my best to implement into my day-to-day. First, I'm gonna stop avoiding doctor's appointments. But I'm not gonna go to the doctor every 3 weeks now. But I have a list of things that I want to get checked. I'm gonna get it checked, and once I got it checked, I'm gonna forget about it and believe what the doctor tells you, because the problem with health anxiety is that even if your friends, they all tell you it's okay, you're okay, you don't believe them. You constantly think something's wrong with you, and like, I've heard that some people, they struggle with this like every single day. I don't. For me, it goes in phases. I can have a couple of months completely anxiety free, and then I can have a month where I'm so anxious all the time. So it goes in phases. But I want to break the cycle. I just want to break it. So the first thing, I'm gonna not avoid doctor's visits. And when I do go to the doctor, I want to believe what they say. They studied it. They know more about it than I do. They know more about it than Google does. So if you're struggling with the same thing or any anxiety, I'm not really, like, I don't really have experience on like social anxiety, but yeah, that's the first thing. Second, meditation. Integrating that into my routine, morning routine, is gonna help me, because it's already helped me. Meditation grounds you. It helps you to separate your thoughts from yourself. So that is the second thing. Gratitude. And honestly, everything I've been doing, eating healthy, moving my body, but also sleep hygiene, having a better sleep schedule. I want to work on my sleep hygiene. I want to work on sleeping better, having a better routine. And then lastly, releasing the emotions. If I feel like I'm sad because of my friend, I'm gonna let myself feel sad. And then I'm also gonna keep working on my I need to trust in my body's abilities to heal themselves. I need to trust that the things that I put into my body, the healthy foods, the fuel, that they can help heal my body. Yeah, yoga I think is a good one too. I don't do that often enough. And then also to not avoid any like social gatherings, to go and hang out with friends, to be balanced. Those are all things I want to start doing. And my goal is for this year, but just in general, to like get rid of this anxiety. I know that I'm not ever gonna get rid of it completely. I'm an anxious person by nature, but I want to start handling it differently. If I have a symptom and I'm scared, either go to the doctor and get it checked out, but then also believe the doctor when the doctor says it's fine, you know? Or just watch and see what happens. Obviously, when you have, like, I'm not trying to say that every symptom is anxiety. It's not, but it can be. Obviously, if you feel something is really wrong, go to the doctor. Because, like I said, anxiety can be a good thing. But yeah, and just acknowledging traumas. Like last year, I also noticed some other things within myself that have more to do with like my success and career and like my beliefs around YouTube success, that certain patterns from my childhood stopped me from thinking that. So I highly encourage you to go within and ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Because oftentimes we are not anxious for no reason. There's oftentimes a root in your past that you didn't work through. And like I said, in society, oftentimes we are expected to move on. You know, we're expected to like deal with it. But that's not how it works. That's not how it works, okay? Like, even if 10 years go by and you're still sad, that's okay. Because if we don't let the negative energy flow, then there will be no space for positive energy to enter. And another thing that I'm taking away from this is my friend that passed away. He really liked my positive attitude. Like, even though we were not together, I know that he liked me, and I know that he liked being in my presence. And a big reason for that was my positivity. I was such a bubbly like person, and I still am, and like I'll get to that in a second, but he really liked my upbeat, positive attitude, personality. I was in a good mood every single day, and you know what? I manifested everything I wanted. And even though I think that the last 2 years they changed me, 3 years, I do think a lot of that change is for the better, because I used to be like very like this, and there was no break, and I didn't get to know myself, and I would distract. Here a party, there a party, there an event. So I think it's actually good that I've been in my comfort zone for the last couple of years, because I was able to get to know myself, and I was able to, discover another side of myself, a more introverted side of myself. But I still am that positive, upbeat person that sees rainbows and butterflies, but I've just kind of forgotten how to do that. And I want to get out of this vicious, anxious cycle for me, but also for him and for anybody out there, to inspire anybody out there that it's possible. And I think I've been trying to like manifest. You can't manifest these good things if you don't let go of all the negative. Like, I do think you can, but it's a lot harder. So I think that once I let go of all these things that are weighing me down, it's going to be a lot easier for me to manifest my dream life, to manifest my desires. And yeah, I just want to let you know that it's okay, that you're not alone. And I personally am not gonna stop. I'm not just gonna accept that I'm anxious, that I feel anxious feelings. it's not me. Okay, the anxiety, the depression, whatever you're struggling with, it's not you. It's just something that you're going through. And I think a lot of people start identifying with their problems, and then it becomes more and more like, please don't identify. You're not your problems, okay? You're so much more than that. You're not your thoughts. You're not your traumas, your experiences. You are a whole fucking person, a whole person. And I was gonna make another point, but I completely forgot about what it was. This video is almost an hour. I knew this video was gonna be long. Okay, a few things that I will say that personally I think are good for me is to stay away from negative media. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't watch the news and see what's going on in the world every now and then, but constantly talking about negativity, thinking about negative things, it's just gonna weigh you down, especially if you don't have a balanced lifestyle. And another thing I've noticed is that people often will connect on negative things, and that's not a bad thing. Like, in German we have this saying called shared pain is half the pain, and I agree with that. Like, I think if you have a problem and you have a friend and they have the same problem, it's great because you guys can help each other, but oftentimes that is all that we connect on. We need to also connect on the positives, on the little things, and that's also like right now a little challenging for me because Shane is someone that is so positive. Like, he can appreciate the little things like me. Like, we like go through the woods and we will be like, wow, look at this leaf, and like, look how beautiful the tree is and everything. And I don't know that many people that are like that as well. And so I think it's important to connect with people on high vibrational energy, on positive things. But like I said, do not ignore the negative. It's okay if you have a day, 2 days, a week where you just feel shitty. You just want to lay in bed. You just want to cry. You just want to eat ice cream. It's okay. Honey, it's okay. Do what you gotta do to let the negativity like flow through your body. But don't forget to live. Don't forget to get back up. Don't forget to smile. Don't forget to enjoy the little things in life. And yeah, I need to work on myself. I want to work on myself. I'm gonna work on myself. Like I said, I'm already a little anxious again because, yeah, the colon cancer, and it's like a vicious cycle. Like, now I'm not worried about the smoke anymore. That's okay, but now I'm worried about the colon cancer, and like, it's a vicious cycle, and you need to. I feel like even though if you don't have health anxiety, if you have depression, social anxiety, it's always this like vicious cycle, and you can break out of it. You can break out of that, and you can come back out stronger. And yeah, if you lose someone, if you lost someone, don't feel like you have to be over that in 2 days. Don't feel like you have to be over it in 10 days. Don't feel like you have to be over it in weeks. Grief, heal. Okay, another thing, healing is not linear. When you heal from something, no matter what it is, trauma, breakup, and trauma doesn't always have to be you were a soldier at war. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. Trauma can be anything. Like, I believe that I have trauma from what happened to my friend, okay? I know that I have trauma from what happened to my friend because it manifested as health anxiety. And oh yeah, when you cry, like the last couple of days I've cried so much, and I'm not on my period. Actually, I just got off my period, and I'm usually the type of person, I don't cry that much unless I'm in my PMS phase. When I'm in my PMS phase, I cry at everything. Every little thing I cry. But when I'm not in my PMS phase, I don't usually cry at all. And so that's how I know that it was energy that was stuck. It was stuck in my body, and it needed to be released. And the way you release it is you cry your heart out. You release mention real quick, and then we can wrap up this ramble. I don't know if anyone can fall asleep to this because it's very heavy but also important. I feel like another reason why I think I didn't really realize it until now is because, and this is amazing, okay, your brain protects you. So your brain doesn't want to feel pain, okay? Your body doesn't want to feel pain. It protects you from those thoughts and feelings, and some people, like, they forget certain things that happened in their life because the brain protects them. And I just want to say that the trauma for me, it came up in the form of the smoke, and I believe that was the universe pushing me to releasing this trauma, this grief. And my body protected me these 2 years, and now my brain was like, she's ready for a new life. She set her goals, because last year I didn't know what I was gonna do with my life. I was very lost, and then I made the decision I'm going all in with YouTube and stuff. And so I feel like that in order for that to manifest, I needed to realize that this and get rid of my problems. And my brain was like, she's ready, we will now let her feel all the pain, all the emotion, she's ready. And also what I want to say is that healing doesn't mean that you're gonna forget about them. Like I said, this applies to you whether you lost someone, like they passed away, but also if you lost a friend, if you broke up with someone. Like, I feel like we all experienced loss in one form or another. Of course, losing someone that passed away is different from like a breakup, but at the end of the day, it's loss, okay? Just because you heal through the pain does not mean you're gonna forget about them, does not mean that your connection is gone, does not mean that they didn't make an impact on you. But think about this person. Would they want you to suffer? Would they want you to not heal? No, right? Like, they would want you to feel good. They would want you to just have a good life. And that's also for me like a motivation. And you know, if you need to go to the grave or talk to them, or if you have if you go through a breakup, look at the photos and, you know, just let yourself feel the emotions, because it doesn't mean that you're gonna forget about them. Like, all my ex-boyfriends, like, I still sometimes think about them, but I've healed. It doesn't affect my day-to-day life anymore. I can still go about my day without feeling crippled. And for me, that's the anxiety. Yeah, a lot of my friends in real life, like my very close ones, like I have 2 very close friends, but my other friends, like the ones that I'm not super close with, they always think that I have it all together. Like, it's like that a lot, right? We think this person has their life together, this person has their life together. Guess what? No, none of us have it together. Some might have a better clue than others. Maybe someone else is a bit, like, not further because we're all on our own timeline. Maybe someone else is on a different point in their timeline. I saw this video by Heinz in hindsight, and he said that it all goes in seasons. Okay, maybe your season is, for me, my season is to let go and heal. Maybe your season is to hustle and work and put out whatever content or whatever it is. Maybe your season is to chill and read a book, and maybe your season is to go and socialize and party. Our life goes in seasons. really care what other people think about me. I used to. That was my struggle when I was younger. I was very shy and I cared a lot about what other people said, so I overcame that struggle. Now my biggest struggle is anxiety, letting go, and being a bit more lighthearted, a bit more carefree, and manifesting my goals and dreams, and kind of being in that like high vibrational energy more often. Like, that is my biggest struggle. But like, just because I have one thing figured out doesn't mean that I have everything figured out, and it's the same for everybody. I listened to this podcast with these two very, very successful women. They're content creators. They have everything right, and like, even they said that they compare themselves sometimes, and one of them had a burnout last year, and like, everybody has something that they're working through, and it will help you. Like, you're doing it for your future you know what I mean? Okay, I'm already rambling for an hour. I'm gonna hit the gym in a couple hours, and I wanted to film another video, so I'm gonna end it here for now. But I really hope that, first of all, this helped you to get to know me better. Second, this helped you not feel alone. Because even if you're not struggling with loss or anxiety, whatever it is you're struggling with, I hope it helped you. And third, I hope this can inspire you. I will keep you updated on this journey. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I will. And my biggest lesson is to not let the anxiety cripple me. I feel like I personally, you don't have to believe in this, I feel like the universe is testing me. It's testing me, like, is she gonna film videos even though she feels anxious? Is she gonna film reels even though she feels anxious? Is she gonna be able to create a healthy sleep routine even though she feels anxious? All these things, and yeah, I feel like I'm being tested, and I want to pass the test. And yeah, also just know that time is relative. Time really doesn't mean anything. 1 month can feel like, I'm sure you've experienced this, like 1 month can feel extremely long, or it can feel like it's just passing you by, because time is relative, guys. Doesn't matter. Even if it's been 3 years, if you're traumatized, you're traumatized. It doesn't matter. If you loved someone, you loved someone. It doesn't matter. So just be kind to yourselves. And also, one more thing that I've been doing is, specifically when falling asleep, because I'm freaked out when I'm alone and I need to go to bed, like during the day, the anxiety is like okay most of the time. I don't even, like, it's the worst for me at night when I'm alone. And because that's what happened to my friend, so I think that's why. But anyway, I've never really liked that. But the first week of January, I was actually so proud of myself, because I fell asleep so easily. I had such a good schedule, even though Shane wasn't here. Like, I thought it was gonna be so difficult, but it wasn't. I was so proud of myself, and then the smoke triggered it. But anyway, what did I want to say? Now I forgot. I completely lost my train of thought just now. The smoke triggered it, falling asleep. Oh, okay, I remember. So when I'm anxious, I like fall asleep, and when I notice that I fall asleep, I go like this, like, oh my gosh, like I can't. And then I hug myself. I do like this, and it's okay, baby Michelle. Like, I talk to my inner child. That's what's wounded. I talk to the part of myself that is hurt. I talk to them, and I'm like, it's okay, you're okay, it's gonna be okay. And I distance myself from that part. You know what I mean? Like, the adult Michelle distances themselves from the wounded child, teenage, whatever Michelle. And I go, it's okay, you're okay, as if I'm my own child. Okay, this might sound weird to you, but it really helps me, because it's almost as if, like, I can't, like, you're comforting yourself, you know, because you're really the only person that can do that. Other people can say what they want, but you're the only person that can help yourself. So I comfort myself, and it helps. That's another tip for you. So I'm also not saying that you need to overcome every single anxiety that you have. Maybe you should start with one. For me, that's going to be my health anxiety. Once I have that under control, I'm going to tackle my anxiety to go on a train, to go on a trip. I want to go to Portugal this year. I want to live by the beach. I'm going to make it happen. And I want to go by bus though, or by car. And I'm not going to be anxious, and I'm just going to do it because that's how I want to live my life. But don't think for a second that that's easy for me. Don't even believe that for a second, okay? We all have our things that we're working on. And I'm definitely a little bit frustrated that the year started like this. I'm definitely, because I wanted to use the month of January for tons of things because Shane isn't here, so I can film whenever I want, and I haven't really done that too much like I did, but then I got this like anxiety attack, and I wanted to film so much content, so many reels, but you know what, guys, I still have 2 weeks. I still have 2 weeks, and I can make the best out of those 2 weeks. And even when he's here, he's extremely cooperative. I can still film. I wanted to go live. I'm gonna go live eventually, just don't know when. I wanted to go live tonight, but I'm gonna be at a friend's place, so at Linda's place, actually, if you remember her from my videos. So I'm not gonna do that, but I am frustrated, you know, that this anxiety came up right when I wanted to. I wanted to get a head start on shorts, on videos, and basically just film content every day. Like, I am frustrated, but it's, what am I gonna do? On the other hand, I'm relieved that it's finally coming out, that I'm finally able to process this, that I'm finally able to hopefully overcome this. And like, me being frustrated is not going to do anything, so I'm just going to try to stay in the energy of gratitude and positivity, and just remember that negative thinking is not going to solve your problems, okay? Even if you genuinely have a health issue, if you have an issue with a friend, negative thinking, negative beliefs, they're just not going to solve your problem. That's just the truth, and that's something that I need to learn. I need to start surrendering and giving up control. So yeah, that's officially it for today's ramble. I don't feel bad at all. Like, I thought it was going to be a lot harder for me to be vulnerable, and I would probably never talk about something like this on my not my main channel, my lifestyle channel, because that channel is all about motivating you. If you don't know this channel, I don't know if I'm ever linking it down below, but I can link it down below. This is more about like motivating you, being the best version of yourself, eating healthy, and this channel even motivates me to do that. So I don't think I'm gonna share stuff like this there, but here on ASMR, this is where we get vulnerable with each other, where we